Coming up this hour on Sunrise, the stories that matter to you. CCISD announced they would close 7 schools in the Coastal Bend, and neighborhood news reporter Jacob Daniels looks at how local organization is helping families through the transition. And the city of Odom has been without a police department since 2024. Could that change soon? What city leaders are saying, and neighbors are reacting to the news.
City Council is set to vote on spending nearly $1 million more on a major road project because of how it connects to a future bridge. I'm Tony Jaramillo, breaking down what's potentially changing and why.
Well, hey there, good Tuesday morning, everyone. You are watching Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you so much for waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman. And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, it's time to wake up and get ready. We got to get you ready too, and for work, for school, whatever is going on in your day. So let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see how the weather and traffic is shaping up this morning. Good morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. Good morning, Coastal Bend. You know, I'm not complaining about the weather this morning. There might be a little bit of fog out there, but temperature-wise, we're in the 50s and 60s, and later today, we're even chasing those upper 70s, so not too much better, or we can't get too much better if you ask me. Here's a live view from our USS Lexington cam, thanks to First Community Bank. 60 degrees on the board as we're kicking off our Tuesday morning. Winds out of the southeast about 8 miles an hour. Both the aquarium and the New Harbor Bridge, of course, lit up and putting on a good show for our morning, but there on the Harbor Bridge, traffic flowing nice and smooth as we're kicking off our day. Same story over there on SPID. A few more cars on that roadway, but still not tracking any of those slowdowns. In terms of those visibilities, though, they are starting to get a little reduced there, especially closer to Beeville and Alice this morning. The rest of us still in the clear for right now, but starting to see that fog spread just a little bit. Through the rest of our day, we're going to hold on to a lot of that cloud cover, but nonetheless, our temperatures will chase those upper 70s for daytime highs. Here's how that traffic is flowing right now. Really good and green across the entire area there on the Harbor Bridge, just like we saw on the Skycam, and here in Corpus Christi on our major roadways also coming in the clear, so looking like a good and green Tuesday morning for us.
Alrighty, Stephen, thank you so much. So folks, in January, the Corpus Christi Independent School District approved the closure of 7 schools in the Coastal Bend for the next school year. The vote came after weeks of public testimony and 8 community listening sessions. In it, CCISD would close Brown, Haas, and Martin middle schools. The district would also close Fannin, Castoris, and Travis Elementary. Sanders Elementary is also one of the schools on the list. So neighborhood news reporter Jacob Daniels shows us how one group is hoping to bring smiles to the kids facing a tough transition.
Students at Sanders Elementary got a special surprise from Nate's Next Kid Up, a local organization dedicated to supporting kids in foster care systems and around the community. The event was a special one because it will be one of the last ones Sanders Elementary will ever have.
And also just to get the reaction, but also to make them feel inspired, but also care about other people as well.
Sanders is one of the 7 schools CCISD has decided to close this coming year. We spoke with Principal Dr. Marcos Aguilera on how the transition has affected his students.
There's a lot of anxiety around what's going to happen next. Students have been notified on which school they're going to be attending next school year, and so they're asking lots of questions, and we're trying to help them to sort of understand where they're going and what that holds for them.
Principal Aguilera says the students' new schools will offer welcome activities to help students feel more comfortable in their new classrooms,
so that they feel better about where they're going, meet some of the teachers, meet the administration of those schools, get the lay of the land, so it's not so foreign to them when they get there next year.
And as the students prepare to say their final goodbyes this coming summer, school staff will continue to host events to keep a positive attitude.
I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for being here and getting this teddy bear.
CCISD says that students from Sanders Elementary will be moved to Dawson, with a small portion being moved to Galvan. For more information on the rezoning, head to christv.com.
Thank you so much, Jake. Appreciate it. So for the past few months, the city of Odom has been considering the return of its own police department. So back in 2023, I was actually in the council room and broke the news to you that the city had eliminated all of the department's positions except the chief, who then retired in February the following year. Since then, the city has relied on the sheriff's office and DPS. Neighbor News reporter Adam Beam was out there in Odom on Monday to see how neighbors feel about the department's possible return.
I think we're all right without a police department. It's been a couple years, and it's a relatively peaceful town, and we had no problem with anybody.
That way it'd take the pressure off Sinton having to send their police department over here. So no, I think the town needs an active police department.
So Adam also spoke with Mayor David Maldonado, who says discussions around the department will continue, but major developments aren't expected in the near future.
Well, hey there and happy Tuesday. Coastal Bend taking a live view now from our studio Skycam. You can see the new Harbor Bridge in view, also of course downtown there in view. Temperatures waking up to about 60 degrees here in Corpus Christi, and those winds out of the southeast. That's about 8 miles an hour right now, but that wind's going to come up as we're going through the rest of our day. Let's start off with a look at some of the fog that's developing out there right now though. Alice reading the worst of it, down to about 1/3 of a mile of visibility. Beeville 5 miles right now, and Hebronville about 5 miles of visibility. So starting to see some of that fog work in, but it's not overly thick as of right now. As we're going through the next couple of hours, should still hold on to some of that, but by 9 to 10 a.m. should dissipate entirely across the coastal bend. For our temperatures across the board, we're waking up to the 50s and 60s. Alice coming in at 56 degrees, San Diego 55 degrees, and then as we work our way along the coast, Rockport and Port Aransas both coming in at that 65-degree mark for our Tuesday morning, so not too bad compared to those 40s we had just not too long ago. Like I talked about though, as we go through the rest of our day, those winds are going to be picking up, especially some of those wind gusts, topping out 31, even 35 miles an hour. That's through most of our afternoon hours for us. As we go into this evening and tonight, starts to dial back closer to 20, 15 miles an hour, and then going through the overnight hours, starts to dial back towards that 10 to 15 mile an hour, pretty much normal what we're used to. For our future tracker, here's how it's going to be playing out. Plenty of cloud cover as we're going to go through our Tuesday, maybe even a few specks of green on the radar, but I really think all of us are going to be staying dry as we go through today. We'll start to see more of that clearing as we go in through the overnight hours, with another chance for some morning fog as we go into tomorrow. Before tomorrow afternoon, bring some more sunshine to our board, and those temperatures heat up even more back into the lower 80s for those daytime highs into tomorrow afternoon. Here's how this current upper level pattern is playing out. As we're going in through these next couple of days, we currently have this trough of low pressure working into the Lone Star State. It's going to kick up some rain chances, but the core of that energy is going to remain closer to New Mexico and that New Mexico-Texas border. By the time we're heading into this weekend, this is what I'm watching for. This next trough of low pressure looks to have a little bit more strength to it and actually send that cold front through us here in the coastal bend. That's where we're going to see that better rain chance working in, still sitting around 30 to 35%. And as we go through the rest of the week, we'll see how it updates. Hopefully we start to see that rain chance increase a little bit, because we want more rather than less, but hey, we're not going to turn away any rain as of right now. For the week ahead though, we're going to be nice and sunny after today. 81 degrees tomorrow, 83 degrees by that Friday time frame. As we're heading into Valentine's Day, getting ready to plan that, could see just a few showers. Right now it looks like they'll mainly be focused on that morning, and then we'll start to clear out, but then that cold front works in, dries us out quite a bit, and those temperatures decrease down into the mid 50s for some of those overnight lows and into the upper 70s for those daytime highs.
Well, funding for the Department of Homeland Security is set to expire this Friday. Coming up on Sunrise, Scripps News Group's Joe St. George breaks down where talks stand right now and what today's hearing could mean. Welcome back, folks. So negotiations are intensifying between the White House and Democrats over on Capitol Hill, and that is ahead of the funding deadline for the Department of Homeland Security. Top officials from ICE, Customs and Border Protection, and the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services are set to testify today.
Now, to talk more about this, we bring in our Deputy Political Director, Joe St. George. And good morning, Joe. The deadline for the funding is this Friday, so can you tell us where negotiations stand as of now? And could today's hearing play a key role in the funding debate?
Well, it could, right? I mean, you're going to have the leaders of immigration enforcement in our country before Congress answering questions. And remember, this potential for a Department of Homeland Security shutdown at the end of the week is driven in part by Democrats' demands for reform to how immigration enforcement is operated in the United States. This has all the makings of another political soap opera drama over funding. And boy, we've had a lot of them, haven't we, in recent months? We had the longest shutdown in American history, impacting every corner of the federal federal government last fall. Just a few days ago, we had a partial government shutdown impacting 3/4 or so of the federal government. Well, now it's all about the Department of Homeland Security. They're the only department, only cabinet agency that would be losing funding come Friday night, again because of Democrats' demands for immigration enforcement reform. So where does this stand? Well, Democrats, over the weekend, they sent legislative text, their proposal to avoid a shutdown, to the White House. Yesterday, the White House has sent a counter proposal to Democrats on Capitol Hill, but Democrats on Capitol Hill have rejected at least this opening salvo, this opening offer by President Trump and the Trump White House, calling it insufficient. Here's Leader John Thune on the state of negotiations, the likelihood of a shutdown later this week.
And Democrats have made their demands known in detail. Some of them are positive starting points for further discussion. Others are non-starters and unnecessarily tie the hands of law enforcement. In the coming days, the administration and Democrats will need to work out their differences.
So will they be able to, right? There's a chance, but that's a tall task to get some sort of grand bargain between now and Friday between Democrats and Republicans on Capitol Hill. There's always a chance that for a temporary amount of time, that there's an extension of existing funding. Democrats would really have to feel like negotiations were in a good place for that to take place. Again, if a shutdown occurs, a little bit of the irony here is that immigration enforcement would likely continue. The One Big Beautiful Bill law that was signed by President Trump last year infused ICE with cash during the shutdown in the fall. ICE was even paid to continue to do their operation. So immigration enforcement likely not impacted, but TSA agents, they could once again be forced to report to work without the guarantee that that next paycheck will arrive on time. There will be a hearing tomorrow on the possible impacts of a shutdown as this clock, guys, continues to tick.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for following all of this for us.
Yeah, deja vu, huh, there, sir. Well, thanks for keeping updated on it, and we'll talk to you again soon.
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your Southside neighborhood news reporter. The city is asking council to approve a change order for the Yorktown widening project that would cost about $915,000. City engineers say part of the extra money is needed so the road can properly connect to the mud bridge that I'm standing on. The construction change order for the Yorktown widening project is layered.
Two main drivers of that change order are to make modifications to the design to connect with the TxDOT design for the bridge replacement. Another part of that is to make some changes to the Fred's Folly intersection to accommodate the northward path.
At the cost of over $900,000 if council approves the item. Director of Engineering Services Jeff Edmonds explains why the city had to redesign the approach that will lead to a new mud bridge coming soon.
We didn't know exactly how wide it was going to be, so based on the additional width, and there's also additional elevation that TxDOT has provided, we've had to amend our drawings, which required additional work for the contractor.
As far as the mud bridge, TxDOT officials tell me they plan on awarding a bid in April, and construction should start this summer. On the south side, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Tony Jaramillo, Chris 6 News.
Well, good Tuesday morning there, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a look from our Snoopy Skycam now, thanks to Matthew CCAC. Not feeling too bad over here at Snoopy Skycam either at that 64-degree mark. Winds out of the southeast about 9 miles an hour, and not too much fog working in over here either by Snoopy Skycam. Looking back at yesterday, though, we were right on the money for that morning low. 51 degrees compared to our average. Yeah, 51 degrees, right where we're supposed to be. In terms of the daytime high, though, a little bit above average. In fact, 11 degrees above average, coming in at 82 degrees. But compared to that record of 93 back in 1962, I'll take the 82-degree mark for us. Rainfall-wise, we're watching the deficit climb up the board just a little bit, but in terms of rainmakers, we don't have too much for our current 7-day forecast right now, so likely to continue to see that grow for the time being. Fog-wise right now, Alice with the worst of it, reading visibilities down to about a third of a statute mile out there. Hebbronville reading around 6 statute miles of visibility, and Beeville around 4 miles right right now, so starting to see some reduced visibilities out there right now, but luckily it's not too bad across most of the coastal bend. Now looking at some of those temperatures with our neighborhood weather network, you can see 63 degrees there on Wind Willow Drive on the south side. Also going to match that 63 there on Garden Court a little bit further south. Now as we work inland a little bit closer to Lake Corpus Christi, George West reading in those upper 50s and around 60 degrees right now, and also 63 degrees here on County Road 803. So across most of the coastal bend, just 50s and 60s galore. But as we go in through the rest of the day, going to see those temperatures climb into the upper 70s. Not under sunny skies today, though. We're going to have plenty of cloud cover as we go through the entire day, and we're going to watch a pretty decent breeze out of the southeast pick up as we go into the afternoon. That breeze is going to be sustained around 20 miles an hour, and some of those gusts going to be getting upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour. So a pretty breezy Tuesday on our hands. As we go through the rest of the weekend, the upper level pattern, what's bringing us all the cloud cover today is this trough that's working into the Lone Star State right now, but I'm watching this next one that's off towards the west coast. It's going to work in as we go into Saturday and Sunday, or well, Valentine's Day and Sunday, I should say, and that's going to bring a nice cold front into the area, but the main effects of that cold front right now looks like it's going to be just stirring up a weak rain chance for us and cooling off our overnight lows. We'll see that here on the 7-day forecast. For the week ahead, we're pretty much chasing that 80-degree mark every day. It's going to be cloudy today, but the rest of the week we're seeing plenty of sunshine. Then by Valentine's Day, like I talked about, that cold front works in, stirs up that rain chance, and slightly cools off temperatures in the overnight lows from the 60s down into those mid-50s.
This morning on the third hour of today, we're live in Milan with all the Olympic highlights, plus NBA legend Julius Erving, Dr. J, live here in Studio 1A. And from Landman, actress Michelle Randolph stops by. That's all this morning on the third hour of today.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm, battling for justice, winning for the community.
A ceremony meant to honor veterans and military history is now drawing concerns from veterans themselves. I was looped into an email that was sent to the mayor and city council criticizing last week's helicopter dedication ceremony at Sherrill Veterans Memorial Park. The email came from Martin Longoria, a veteran and chairman of the Corpus Christi Mayor's Committee for Veterans Affairs. He says he's speaking on behalf of 20 local veterans organizations, some of which felt more veterans should have been included.
It was more politicized. Veterans felt kind of like, well, this isn't right. It should have been more veteran-centric, more veteran-involved than politicized.
Now, I reached out to the city about this issue, and they issued a statement saying, in part, the city of Corpus Christi sincerely apologizes if any offense was caused during the recent dedication of the helicopter at Sherrill Veterans Memorial Park.
Well, hey there, and happy Tuesday, Coastal Bend. Taking a live look from our USS Lexington cam now, thanks to First Community Bank. 60 degrees on the board right now. We've got the aquarium and the New Harbor Bridge in view. Of course, traffic out there flowing pretty smoothly right now along the New Harbor Bridge. Over on SPID, seeing a few more cars on that roadway, but not tracking any slowdowns as of right now. So let's give you a look at some of those temperatures you're waking up to this morning. In the 50s, 55 degrees in Alice, but also in the 60s closer to the coast. Port Aransas coming in at 66 degrees, 65 as you're waking up in Rockport this morning. Also notice some of these visibilities getting reduced on the board, mainly there into Alice and Beeville, also spreading slightly into areas like Hebronville right now. Through the rest of today, we're going to hold on to a lot of that cloud cover, but nonetheless, those daytime highs top out around 79 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Traffic flowing, like we talked about and saw on the Skycams, good and green across most of our roadways, including there on the Harbor Bridge. To and from Portland looking good this morning, including our major roadways here in Corpus Christi. So just keep the jacket along, still holding on to some chilly 50s, but other than that, looking like a good and green Tuesday morning. Well, hey there and happy Tuesday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a look from our Snoopy Skycam now, thanks to Matthew CCAC. A few cars flowing out there on the causeway, but still nice and smooth. Waking up to 64 degrees here closer to the water this morning. Seeing some of those 50s though as you work your way inland. Also some of that fog inland. But first, let's start off with a look back at yesterday. We were right on the money for where we were supposed to start the day, 51 degrees, and compared to that average of 51 degrees, just perfect yesterday. But the daytime high, a little bit above average. In fact, a 11 degrees above average. 82 is where we topped out, but compared to the 93-degree record back in 1962, I think we'll all take that 82-degree mark for now. As we're looking at the visibilities and that fog out there right now, the core of it is over towards Alice into Orange Grove. Alice reading visibilities down as low as about 1/3 of a mile right now. Beeville seeing 4 statute miles of visibility, and Hebbronville around 6 miles. So starting to see some of those reduced visibilities, but luckily the wind's holding on right now and keeping away most of that fog around the area. Temperatures wise, we're waking up to those 50s and 60s on the board. San Diego coming in at 56 degrees, 59 there in Freer, and as we work our way off to the north, Beeville coming in at 57, but closer to the coast, quite a bit warmer in those mid-60s there for the Naval Air Station and Port Aransas this morning. For our dog walking forecast, we've got Coda on the board today, ready to go for his walk. Got the little booties on, and it's looking like a good day for it as we're going through the next few hours there along Ocean Drive. 72 degrees by 10 a.m., 77 by that noon hour. We're also going to start to notice those winds picking up a little bit as we're going through the afternoon hours, closer to that 15 to 20 mile an hour mark as we're going through the later morning hours, even pushing upwards of 30 miles an hour with some of those wind gusts as we're going through this afternoon. Our model's topping it out around 35 miles an hour by 5 p.m. After we get through about that dinner time frame, that's where we start to see it crawl back down the board and closer to about 10 to 15 miles an hour, of course, as we're going through the overnight hours into tomorrow. So here's how our forecast is currently shaping up for today. 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. By tonight, we start to clear out a little bit, back down to about that 60-degree mark, but could see the redevelopment of some of that fog out there for some of our inland communities. And as we go into tomorrow, more of that clearing overhead. Not going to hold on to quite as much of that cloud cover. Going to be under partly cloudy skies, and those temperatures back on the rise towards 81 degrees for us tomorrow. In terms of the week ahead, though, for our upper level pattern, what's going to bring us all the cloud cover today is this current trough of low pressure working into the Lone Star State, but the best rain chances are going to remain closer to that New Mexico-Texas border. As we're going into the later portions of the week, I'm watching this next trough that works in by later portions of the week into Friday and then Valentine's Day on Saturday. That actually looks to bring a stronger cold front, well, relatively stronger cold front into the coastal bend, one that will actually pass through. Whenever it does pass through, looks to stir up that rain chance and dry us out and cool off our overnight lows. Here's how that's going to shape up on our 7-day forecast. For the week ahead, today breezy and cloudy, only chasing those upper 70s. Then we're going to see more of that sunshine come back out and daytime highs back into the lower 80s. By Valentine's Day, a few showers, it looks like, into the morning. That cold front works through, drops our overnight lows from those mid-60s into the mid-50s as we're kicking off next week.
With AI adding uncertainty, Gen Z is turning to skilled trades. I'm Maura Barrett with a look at why young people are choosing tool belts over textbooks.
Welcome back, folks. So as AI reshapes the workplace, a growing number of young people are turning to blue-collar and skilled trade jobs as a faster, debt-free patch to a career. Now, Scripps News Group's Maura Barrett explains why more workers are ditching the 4-year degree.
For decades, blue-collar work carried a stigma. Now, that's fading. More people are eyeing the trades as a career, especially as AI makes college feel less like a safety net.
Wanted to work with my hands. I wanted to be more creative.
Erica Miguel left the tech world behind. She's now enrolled in free upholstery training, an industry short on skilled workers.
When I was working in tech, I felt like I was just a cog in the wheel.
Blue-collar work is not shunned. It's very well-paying, good jobs, good people.
Chris Anderson is with Rayburn Electric Cooperative, whose front line includes line workers, power plant operators, and field technicians. He says the economy and tech are pushing more young people to the company's apprenticeship program.
You're being paid while you're being trained. You're doing the work. You're getting an income.
Dubbed the tool belt generation, more than half of Gen Z workers are seriously considering blue-collar or skilled trade work, according to career site Zeddy. And 65% of those workers said a college degree won't protect them from AI-related job loss.
Young people are looking at this and saying, hey, if I go to school for 4 years and I get out, where's AI going to be?
Matt DeBarra is co-founder of the Contractor Consultants, a construction hiring service. He says Gen Z's interest is welcome, with older generations retiring out.
They're the ones who have put in 15, 20 years plus in the trades, and they're the ones that pass down the knowledge.
Lisa Countryman-Quiroz is CEO of JVS, a San Francisco Bay Area nonprofit that trains job seekers.
Recent college grads today, on average, have about $37,000 in student debt, and for many, it's a lot higher than that.
She points out that choosing the trades early doesn't shut the door on a future education.
College can always be there for you. You may be better informed about what you really want to do after you've done some other kinds of work out in the world. That's a possibility.
You can wake up having put 3, 4, 5 years into a hands-on side of a trade and then say, you know what? I want to move into management, or I want to move into estimating or sales.
For Miguel,
I also wanted to support myself in a way that I didn't know was possible before.
Learning the ropes builds lifelong skills and independence. Maura Barrett, Scripps News Group.
Well, hey there and happy Tuesday. Coastal Bend taking a look from our Snoopy Skycam now thanks to Matthew CCAC, and just some glimpses of that sunrise starting to come up. Just a little bit of light in the sky now that we're about less than 40 minutes away from that official sunrise. Either way, temperatures still holding on to 64 degrees, winds out of the southeast less than 10 miles an hour. Not too bad of a start to our Tuesday. Here's a view from that SPID Skycam. You can see a few more cars on the roadway, but still flowing nice and smooth there. Here's the temperatures you're waking up to really across the board, the 50s and the 60s. In Alice, coming in at 56 degrees, compared to Port Aransas closer to the coast, about 66 degrees. Also notice some of those visibilities, mainly over towards Alice and Beeville this morning, seeing some of that fog developing, so want to give yourself some extra time on the roadways if you run into any of that. Through the rest of our day, we're going to hold on to a lot of that cloud cover overhead though, and one more thing you'll notice, those winds picking up out of the southeast. They're going to be about 20 miles an hour, even gusting to 30 miles an hour as we head into this afternoon, so pretty breezy one as we're heading through the rest of our Tuesday, but like I said, going to be holding on to that cloud cover. Nonetheless, daytime high is going to top out in the upper 70s, even flirting with the 80s as you work your way a little bit further south. Through the next few days, it's not going to get too much cooler. We have a cold front on the way by Valentine's Day that slightly cools us off in terms of daytime highs, but in terms of the average, we are going to remain well above average through the next 10 days, and in fact, probably through the next 14 days here through most of February for us. Of course, I'll break down the rest of our precipitation chances and that full 7-day forecast coming up.
Sanders Elementary is one of the 7 schools set to close this coming year. I'm Jacob Daniels with one group that brought smiles to the kids facing a tough transition.
A drainage district says Tesla is discharging black water into a ditch without permission. I'm Stephanie Molina telling you what I found.
Could a police department be returning to Odom? I'm Adam Beam with the word from City Hall and from neighbors.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of non-stop news with the Hoffmans. We appreciate it. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, we have plenty of neighborhood news for you this morning. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see how our weather and roads are looking today. Hey, good morning, Stephen.
Morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. Good morning to the Coastal Bend. You know, it's not looking too bad at all today. We're in the 50s and the 60s. A little bit of cloud cover, just a little bit of fog for some of our neighborhoods, but for the most part, not too bad. Here's a live view from our USS Lexington cam, thanks to First Community Bank. 60 degrees is what we're reading as of right now, and traffic flowing nice and smooth there along the Harbor Bridge if you're going to be hitting that roadway. Over there along SBID, seeing some more glimpses of the sunrise coming up. More cars on that roadway, but still flowing nice and smooth. Not tracking any slowdowns there on SPID. So let's look at those temperatures you're waking up to. Over in Port Aransas coming in at 66 degrees. Alice and Kingsville both coming in closer to 56 degrees. But Alice also notice having that reduced visibility less than 1 statute mile. Beeville also starting to see some of that fog work into your neck of the woods. Through the rest of our Tuesday, we're going to hold on to that cloud cover pretty well overhead, but nonetheless those daytime highs chase that 79 degree mark. In terms of our roadways, it is good and green traffic flow out there right now, just like we saw on the Skycam there on the Harbor Bridge. No issues, and that's going to include our major roadways here in Corpus Christi, so maybe still keep the jacket along, but it's looking like a good and green Tuesday morning.
Well, hey, thank you so much, Stephen. Appreciate it. We're going to check back in with you in just a little bit for the rest of that forecast. But first, in January, the Corpus Christi Independent School District approved the closure of 7 different schools here in the Coastal Bend for the next school year. The vote came after weeks of public testimony and 8 community listening sessions. In it, CCISD would close Brown, Haas, and Martin Middle Schools. The district would also close Fannin, Castores, and Travis Elementary. Sanders Elementary is also going to close down. Neighborhood News reporter Jacob Daniels has the story of one group hoping to bring smiles to kids who are facing a tough transition.
Students at Sanders Elementary got a special surprise from Nate's Next Kid Up, a local organization dedicated to supporting kids in foster care systems and around the community. The event was a special one because it will be one of the last ones Sanders Elementary will ever have.
And also just to get the reaction, but also to make them feel inspired, but also care about other people as well.
Sanders is one of the 7 schools CCISD has decided to close this coming year. We spoke with Principal Dr. Marcos Aguilera on how the transition has affected his students.
There's a lot of anxiety around what's going to happen next. Students have been notified on which school they're going to be attending next school year, and so they're asking lots of questions, and we're trying to help them to sort of understand where they're going and what that holds for them.
Principal Aguilera says the students' new schools will offer welcome activities to help students feel more comfortable in their new classrooms,
so that they feel better about where they're going, meet some of the teachers, meet the administration of those schools, get the lay of the land, so it's not so foreign to them when they get there next year.
And as the students prepare to say their final goodbyes this coming summer, school staff will continue to host events to keep a positive attitude.
I'm very grateful for being here and getting this teddy bear.
CCISD says that students from Sanders Elementary will be moved to Dawson, with a small portion being moved to Galvan. For more information on the rezoning, head to christv.com.
Thank you so much, Jacob. So here's a quick breakdown of where the students from the 7 schools will be moved to. This is all dependent on exactly where you live, though. Fannin Elementary students will be rezoned to Berlanga, Garcia, and Hicks Elementary Schools. Castores and Sanders Elementary students, they get rezoned to Dawson, Galvan, Los Encinos, and Yeager Elementary. Travis students who would be rezoned to Allen, Houston, Shaw, and Zavala. Brown Middle School and Haas students would be rezoned to Atkins, Grant, and Hamlin Middle School. And Martin Middle School students, well, they're going to get rezoned to Cunningham and Driscoll Middle School. Transition plans for students, staff, and transportation will be developed in the coming months. That's ahead of next school year.
Well, howdy and happy Tuesday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a view from our studio Skycam now, we've got the new Harbor Bridge and downtown both in view, and also some glimpses of the sunrise starting to come up out there. Should officially come up around 7:12 a.m. or so this morning. For the fog out there right now, mainly focused on some of our inland neighborhoods. Beeville reading about 1/3 of a mile of visibility, and also going to match that in Alice this morning. Likely seeing that reduced visibility in areas like Orange Grove, but closer to the coast, still looking pretty clear as of right now. For our temperatures, we're in the 50s and 60s across the board. About 55 degrees in Alice this morning, 56 what you're waking up to in Kingsville, and then a good 10-degree warm up as we head into Port Aransas, coming in at that 66-degree mark. So 50s and 60s across the board. I don't think we have too many complainers about the cool weather, at least this morning. Whenever we're looking at the dog walking forecast for today, we've got Coda on the board, ready to take his walk over by the Ocean Drive, over there along Ocean Drive, I should say. Got the little booties on, ready to go for the walk, and those temperatures are looking pretty nice for it. 72 degrees by 10 a.m., already pushing into 78 degrees by 1 p.m. One more thing we're going to notice, those winds climbing up the board from 10 miles an hour this morning towards 20 miles an hour as we're heading into later portions of the afternoon. Some of those wind gusts, though, they're going to get upwards of 30 miles an hour, and our models want to top it out around 35 miles an hour by dinner time. As we head through the rest of our evening and overnight hours, luckily that number crawls back down the board closer to 10 to 15 miles an hour as we head into tonight and really through the rest of our work week. So here's how our forecast is currently shaping up through today and tomorrow. 79 degrees under those mostly cloudy skies as we're heading into this afternoon. By tonight we start to clear out a little bit, but also start to see the redevelopment of some of that fog out there. We're going to be chasing 60 degrees for that morning low and have some patches of fog similar to what we're seeing right now, but by tomorrow plenty of sunshine in the sky is going to get us back into those lower 80s for daytime highs as we're heading through our Wednesday. So a couple couple pretty nice days in store, and then really through the rest of the week it's looking pretty nice. Here's how our upper level pattern is shaping up. All that cloud cover is as a result of this upper level trough that's working into the Lone Star State right now, but the one that's actually going to bring us a cold front is this next one that works in by Saturday into Sunday. That's going to give us a cold front. It's not going to be a huge freeze for us or anything like that, but it will cool down our temperature slightly and definitely dry us out in terms of the moisture in our atmosphere. Here's how it is on our 7-day forecast for right now. Like I mentioned, this second week of February going pretty well for us. It's going to be breezy and cloudy today, yeah, but then it calms down as we're going through the rest of the week. Sunshine and 80s for those daytime highs. By Valentine's Day, maybe a few morning showers is what we're eyeing right now. Then plenty of sunshine, 86 degrees, and then that cold front works through, cooling us off slightly to kick off next week.
All righty, Stephen, thank you so much. So, folks, we have plenty more neighborhood news to get to this morning, from concerns over a Tesla pipeline discharging wastewater in Robstown to the possibility of a police station coming back to Odom. We have you covered in your neighborhood check-in.
New concerns about what's flowing into a Nueces County ditch. The drainage district says Tesla connected a pipe and started discharging black water without ever notifying them. I'm neighborhood news reporter Stephanie Molina, and I went searching for answers for Robstown neighbors.
Drainage district workers made a disturbing discovery during routine maintenance. The discharge was coming from Tesla's lithium refinery in Robstown. Tesla has a state permit to discharge up to 231,000 gallons of wastewater per day, but they still need permission from property owners to do that. The drainage district says Tesla never asked permission to run the pipe across their easement. Tesla provided test results, which the district is reviewing, but the district plans to do its own independent testing.
Tesla has not responded to our request for comment. The drainage district says Tesla has been responsive since they raised concerns. The two sides are meeting Friday to discuss the next step. The district says they are in support of Tesla in their community, but they want to make sure the water is safe. Stephanie Molina for 6 Investigates.
Driving through Odom, there's many things you can notice, but one thing you won't see is a police department. Since 2024, the city has relied on the work of the county sheriff's office and DPS when it comes to law enforcement. Over the past few months, city leaders have met with the community to see if the department's return would be of interest to neighbors. But I decided to head out into the community and hear from neighbors myself.
I think we're all right without a police department. It's been a couple years and it's a relatively peaceful town.
That way it'd take the pressure off Sinton having to send their police department over here. I think the town needs an active police department.
Mayor Maldonado tells me that discussions around the department's return will continue, but any major developments aren't likely anytime soon. Reporting in Odom, Adam Beam for Chris 6 News.
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your Southside neighborhood news reporter. The city is asking council to approve a change order for the Yorktown widening project that would cost about $915,000. City engineers say part of the extra money is needed so the road can properly connect to the mud bridge that I'm standing on. The construction change order for the Yorktown widening project is layered.
Two main drivers of that change order are to make modifications to the design to connect with the TxDOT design for the bridge replacement. Another part of that is to make some changes to the Fred's Folly intersection to accommodate the northward path.
At the cost of over $900,000 if council approves the item. Director of Engineering Services Jeff Edmonds explains why the city had to redesign the approach that will lead to a new mud bridge coming soon.
We didn't know exactly how wide it was going to be, so based on the additional width, and there's also additional elevation that TxDOT has provided, we've had to amend our drawings, which required additional work for the contractor.
As far as the mud bridge, TxDOT officials tell me they plan on awarding a bid in April, and construction should start this summer. On the south side, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Tony Jaramillo, Chris 6 News.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
Let's start this list off with the search for Nancy Guthrie. It's now entering its second week. On Monday, a second ransom deadline has passed. Investigators are expanding their reach. Digital billboards are appearing in select cities across Texas, New Mexico, and California, featuring an FBI tip line. Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie, was reported missing from her Tucson home on February 1st. In an emotional Instagram video, Savannah Guthrie told followers that the family believes her mother is still out there. At this point, no suspects or person of interest have been identified.
Top officials from ICE, Customs and Border Protection, and the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services are set to testify on Capitol Hill today. A House Committee on Homeland Security will talk about how the Department of Homeland Security is overseeing its agencies. The discussion follows President Trump's sweeping immigration crackdown, which has sparked protests and lawsuits. It also comes after 2 U.S. citizens were killed by federal agents, prompting demands for change. In a statement, the committee's Republican chair said, quote, "Transparency and communication are needed to turn the temperature down."
Well, the Senate Homeland Security Committee is set to hold a hearing today on alleged fraud and misuse of federal funds in Minnesota. Now, late last year, federal prosecutors said half or more of the roughly $18 billion in federal funds that supported 14 Minnesota-run programs since 2018 may have been stolen. Federal charges have been brought against dozens of people. The hearing plans to examine whether foreign influence played a role in this fraud. At least one Minnesota state senator is expected to testify about what the state is doing to address the alleged fraud.
Health officials in California are now linking cases of measles to potential exposure at Disneyland. Authorities are now confirming a second case of measles in a person who visited Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure on January 22nd. The report comes a week after an international traveler tested positive after visiting Disneyland. And as of February 5th, the CDC says there have been 733 confirmed measles cases across the country.
So a group of Buddhist monks that have been gaining national attention for walking across the country is expected to arrive in Washington, D.C. today. It's the final destination on their 2,300-mile journey from Fort Worth. The monks plan to ask Congress to recognize Buddha's day of birth and enlightenment as a federal holiday. They say their aim is to promote mindfulness, healing, and finding inner peace. Their journey has attracted large crowds since it began October 26th.
If you're facing arrest over an outstanding warrant or unpaid fines, there's actually a way to avoid jail. The city of Corpus Christi is offering a 2-week amnesty period from February 16th through the 28th. It applies to traffic citations, code enforcement violations, and Class C misdemeanor warrants issued by the city. To avoid arrests, you can visit municipal court to set up a payment plan, and court hours are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can also pay citations online or by phone.
So imagine winning a medal in the Olympics only to have it break within just a few moments. Well, some athletes competing in the 2026 Winter Games in Italy say that they've encountered just that. American skier Breezy Johnson and figure skater Elisa Liu have both reported problems. They say that their medals became detached from the ribbons. Johnson advised her fellow athletes not to jump while wearing the medals. Don't forget, you can catch the Olympics right here on Chris 6. All right, here's some fun trivia for you, folks. I did a little bit of research into this too. So when it comes to the Olympic gold medals, do you know why it's always customary to see them biting the gold medals, right? It's actually because prior to 1932, the medals were actually made of pure gold, and when you imprint it in, gold is a softer metal. You could see the teeth imprints, and it actually shows its value. Right now, it's made with 500 grams of silver and only 6 grams of gold.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's gold medal look-alike, gold medal-ish.
That's a pretty interesting fun fact, though, and you know, I think it still, carries a lot of weight, at least that sentimental weight whenever you get that gold medal. So hopefully they're able to maybe get some replacements or repairments on those, because I know that's a pretty serious task, and congrats to them for getting those gold medals, though. Either way, as we're going through the rest of the week, looking like some good Olympic watching weather for us as we're heading into it. Going to see plenty of sunshine after today, at least. We're going to have a decent amount of cloud cover for our Tuesday, it looks like. The rest of this second week of February, plenty of sunshine in store for us. Here's a live view from our studio Skycam to kick off our Tuesday morning. 58 degrees is what we're down to here in downtown Corpus Christi. Those winds out of the southeast, but less than 10 miles an hour. I don't think there's too many people complaining about the weather waking up this Tuesday. And just a decent amount of cloud cover overhead. That's going to grow as we're going through the afternoon hours. In terms of that fog right now, we do have a couple trouble spots out there, mainly over towards Alice and Orange Grove, reading about 1/3 of a mile of visibility right now. Beeville is back up to about 5 miles of visibility, but they were also just down at 1/3 of a mile visibility. Luckily, not seeing that fog spread too much as of right now. Temperatures were waking up to 50s and 60s across the board. Kingsville, you're waking up to 56 degrees. Cotulla coming in at that 58-degree mark. Closer to the coast, a little bit warmer in those mid-60s for us. 64 over at NAS Corpus Christi and 66 degrees as you're waking up in Port Aransas this morning. Let's get a little bit of a closer look now with our neighborhood weather network over there on the south side, coming in at 64 degrees on Wind Willow Drive, about 63 degrees down there at Garden Court this morning. It's not too bad on the south side, and temperatures as you work your way inland also still pretty similar. Beeville, the official Beeville reporting station right now, not reporting for our neighborhood weather network, but 58 degrees there on our Hilltop Road reporting station is what we're reading, so just slightly cooler as you work your way inland. Nonetheless, as we go through the rest of the day, all of us are going to hold on to a good dose of that cloud cover and temperatures climbing into those upper 70s for daytime highs. One more thing you're going to notice into the afternoon is those winds picking up 15 to 20 miles an hour, and some of those gusts are actually going to get upwards of 30 miles an hour at times. So going to be a pretty breezy Tuesday on our hands, even as we head into dinner time, holding on to about 35 miles an hour. Then luckily pretty quickly after about dinner time, that's where we start to see it climb right back down the board into about 10 to 15 miles an hour as we're heading into the overnight hours, and really through the rest of the week it's looking more like that normal wind. For our 7-day forecast, looking nice through the week ahead. Like I mentioned, sunshine and 80s is what we're chasing through the Friday time frame. By Valentine's Day, we're eyeing that next cold front to start working in. Still going to be 86 degrees for Valentine's Day, maybe a few showers around, but I still wouldn't cancel any of those outdoor plans. That cold front mainly going to cool us back down into the upper 70s and overnight lows in the 50s, so back closer to average at least, but I'm definitely not going to complain about it. How are y'all feeling about this current forecast?
No, it looks great. I love the sun. I love the warmth, so I'm happy.
Oh yeah. Should make for a very pleasant Valentine's Day, should we not get rained out, that is.
Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good right now. I'm focusing on the morning hours. We'll see how that schedule updates throughout the week, though.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, viewers at home, for inviting us into your home every morning, and I hope you have a fantastic day.